Das kann losgehen. Alle sind soweit. So we are reading today from the Bhagavad-gita, from the 6th chapter, verse 34. Is that true? No, 6th chapter, verse 24. Before we start, we chant a mantra. There it is. Yes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Sanishchayena yoktavyo yogo nirvinachetasa sankalpa prabhavan kamams tyaktva sarvan asheshataha manaisvairendriya gramam viniyamya samantataha. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith, and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon, without exception, all material desires born of mental speculation, and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. Purport. The yoga practitioner should be determined. Mach ruhig hell. Ja, so hell wie möglich. Ich sehe sonst so schlecht. The yoga practitioner should be determined and should patiently prosecute the practice without deviation. One should be sure of success at the end and pursue this course with great perseverance, not becoming discouraged if there is any delay in the attainment of success. Success is sure for the rigid practitioner. Regarding Bhakti Yoga, Rupa Goswami says, Utsaha nishchayatar yat tat tat kama pravartanat sangatyagat sato vritte sadbiya bhaktiya prasidyati. One can execute the process of Bhakti Yoga successfully with full-hearted enthusiasm, perseverance, and determination by following the prescribed duties in the association of devotees and by engaging completely in activities of goodness. As for determination, one should follow the example of the sparrow who lost her eggs in the waves of the ocean. A sparrow laid her eggs on the shore of the ocean, but the big ocean carried away the eggs on its waves. The sparrow became very upset and asked the ocean to return her eggs. The ocean did not even consider her appeal. So the sparrow decided to dry up the ocean. She began to pick out the water in her small beak, and everyone laughed at her for her impossible determination. The news of her activity spread, and at last Garuda, the gigantic bird carrier of Lord Vishnu, heard it. He became compassionate toward his small sister bird, and so he came to see the sparrow. Garuda was very pleased by the determination of the small sparrow, and he promised to help. Thus Garuda at once asked the ocean to return her eggs, lest he himself take up the work of the sparrow. The ocean was frightened at this and returned the eggs. Thus the sparrow became happy by the grace of Garuda. Similarly, the practice of yoga, especially bhakti yoga and Krishna consciousness, may appear to be a very difficult job, but if anyone follows the principles with great determination, the Lord will surely help, for God helps those who help themselves. The verse one more time. One who engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith, and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception, all material desires, born of mental speculation, and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskirati Shatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, in that verse we hear a very nice example, the example of the sparrow who wants to empty the whole ocean, which is quite impossible for him. So, but like Srila Prabhupada said, the word impossible is only in the dictionary of the fools. For a devotee of Krishna, for him nothing is impossible. But Srila Prabhupada, he mentions in that very nice purport, Utsahan, Nishtayat Daryat. This is a verse from Rupa Goswami, one of the disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he says there are many things which are favorable for devotional service, for the progress in spiritual life. And one of these things which are very favorable it's called Utsaha. And Utsaha means enthusiasm. Begeisterung. Enthusiasm from the word comes from Latin and is called entheos. Entheos means God, and entheos means to have God inside. So enthusiasm means to feel God inside. So like when Srila Prabhupada, he told about himself. An old man, almost 70 years old, coming from a holy place in India, Vrindavan, to New York, you need some utsaha. Many of his friends told him, you will not survive, Prabhuji. Swamiji will not survive. It's cold in New York. There's nothing to eat than meat. They said, don't go, stay here. But anyhow, he went. He had some utsaha, some enthusiasm. So in every regard, whatever we like to attain in this world, we need some enthusiasm. Even on the material level, if we want to have success in any space, if we want to become a musician, or if we want to be successful, whatever it is, as a sportsman or as a businessman, we need some enthusiasm to attain that goal. Yes, and this is very favorable. When I was a young man, there was one rock band called Pink Floyd. You know Pink Floyd, maybe? You know even? Yeah, you're from India. You must not know. you know other musicians, which I don't know. So Pink Floyd was the band in the 70s. So they came to Frankfurt, and we were so enthusiastic. We have to see them, but we don't have any money. So we just decided, let's jump over the fence. And with enthusiasm, we jumped over the fence and attained the goal to see Pink Floyd with their flying Floyd through the hall. So enthusiasm means to be eager, to be eager to reach the goal. Yes. So Srila Prabhupada, he did like the sparrow. He didn't empty the ocean, but he crossed the ocean, which was actually quite not an easy thing. So Srila Prabhupada, he crossed the ocean, and he came to the west, to New York. So by his enthusiasm, many young people came, and they became very enthusiastic too. And in that way, this Krishna consciousness and the Bhagavad-gita could spread around the whole world, from Vrindavan, from India to America, to Europe, to Russia, to all the countries of this world. And the disciples of Srila Prabhupada also, they had enthusiasm. I just heard one lecture from Harikesh at that time. He was a direct disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he told the story of how the devotees brought Krishna consciousness to the east, to eastern part of Germany. This was western part, and eastern part was separated. The eastern part was the communistic bloc. So it was very dangerous to bring spiritual literature in a land where atheism is the rule. And this was not allowed. This was not at all allowed. It was forbidden. And if you would, the police would caught you, you would go to jail for it. So they decided, let's go. You could go to east part of Germany by transit, because there was West Berlin. This belonged to West Germany. And the other way, you could go in as a guest to go in East Bloc, East DDR. So they had two vans. One van was full with Srila Prabhupada's books, and the other one was empty. And the empty one, the full one, they decided at the border, they declared, this goes to West Berlin. Okay, they got a stamp. The other empty van, we enter the East Bloc. Then they got through the border, and at the next parking place, they met. And they changed the books from one van to the other. Unfortunately, Harikesh told, the police came. And the devotees, they did like as if they make a little break. They put out some apples and chewing apples. And after some time, the police left the place on the Autobahn. And then they continued to change the books. And then Harikesh started, and some kilometers, police on the street, the same car, waving to stop. So I knew I cannot stop. So er gab Gas. Was heißt Gas geben? Accelerated. He accelerated. So they came immediately and followed. And he was just chanting Hare Krishna. And what happened mystically, something happened. It was in July, in the summer. It was very hot. But suddenly a great thunder and a rain came, like he never saw before. And the rain on the hot street gave like fog, steam, much steam. So next escape, he escaped from the Autobahn and the police disappeared. So like a little sparrow got help from Garuda, yes, because he was so happy to see his enthusiasm. Harikesh got help by the Lord because of his enthusiasm to spread this Krishna consciousness, even in those countries where it was very, very dangerous. So what was it that make people so enthusiastic about Krishna? It was that they never had so detailed and nice informations about who am I and who is God. Yeah, in our Western civilization and philosophy, this is very vague. So in Prabhupada came Krishna. God means Bhagavan. Bhagavan means he possesses the six opulences. Yes, he is the Almighty. He's all fame. He has all riches. He has all beauty. all knowledge, and all renunciation. And even that information is interesting, because we are very attracted. If we see a person in that world who's very rich, very beautiful, very powerful, and very famous, we are attracted. Therefore, Krishna means the all-attractive. He's all-attractive because God has all these attributes in himself. When I heard that, I was enthusiastic, but I was a little bit in doubt. In doubt, why? Because it sounds a little bit materialistic. We are on the spiritual path. We are looking for, spiritual knowledge and spiritual consciousness, which is connected with renunciation, simple life, yogis, fasting, and there we have this, everybody in this world. There are so many people. They are rich, they are mighty, they have power, maybe beautiful, maybe famous. That's not, for me, this was not enough. Oh, is that all? What's about his character? What's about his personality? Yeah. Even if you have a person who is very rich, he might be a rascal. So what's about God's internal, then Prabhupada explains, God is God, he is almighty, he has all knowledge, he has all power, he has all beauty, all fame. He's like a leader of a big company. And the employees in that company, they respect him very much. And also living entities, they respect God very much. And that's good. This is good. But at the same time, this leader of the company at home, he plays with his child. The child, maybe he jumps on his back and he plays to be a horse. And the young child is riding on his back like a child on a horse. So this is more knowledge we get about Krishna and why we are so attracted in that way to God. That Krishna, there's a nice description about Krishna's qualities and character, his character. In one book, this is called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. There's Rupa Goswami wrote it 500 years ago, and he collected all these statements from Vedic literature in this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu about the internal qualities of God. Who is God? How does he behave? How are his qualities and his character symptoms? So this is very nicely explained in the book. It's a Zusammenfassung, summary in the book is called Nectar of Devotion, written by Srila Prabhupada, Nektar der Hingabe. And one of this there's 64 qualities altogether. I will speak about some of them today, because on such a nice day we can try to be a little bit more attracted to Krishna, because as more we are attracted to Krishna, as more we can let loose of the attractions of material consciousness. And that's the goal of life, to go back to Godhead, back to the realm, back to the kingdom of God. So how is Krishna privately? Krishna is very thankful. God is very thankful. We have to be thankful of God. We thank him, because he gives us everything. Bhumya apunalo vayo kammane buddhi evacha. He says in Gita, I give you earth, water, fire, ether. Yes, your false ego, your mind, your body, everything comes from Krishna. So we are thankful. We thank him for our daily bread. Yes, we thank God that he gave us this world, this earth, this planet, the plants, the animals, the human bodies. We are thankful. But Krishna is thankful to us. In what regard? Patram pushpam palam toyam, Krishna says in Gita, one who offers me even a leaf, a pushpa, a flower, or some water, I will accept that. It's like a father who has a very big garden and everything is growing there. Vegetables, nice flowers everywhere. And the little daughter comes picks up a flower and gives the flower to the father. The father is thankful. Thank you very much, my little daughter, for this nice flower. So in a similar way, Krishna, he is the owner of everything. But he is very thankful if we offer him with love and devotion. He's thankful about it. Our attitude, he does not need. But he is thankful if we have in the right attitude, we say, Krishna, this is for you. I offer this flower for you. I am cooking this lunch for you. And I'm offering it before I eat for you. So Krishna is pleased and is thankful. He was very thankful when Draupadi, the wife of the Pandavas, she was chanting his name with full taking shelter of him. She cried even, "Hey Govinda, oh Govinda," because she was in such a difficult situation when the Kurus, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, after the gambling, Mahabharata, the gambling, and the Kauravas, they wanted to took off the cloth, the sari of Draupadi. So she chanted the name of Govinda. And it said in Nectar of Devotion that Krishna is, he feels thankful, indebted. He feels indebted to his devotee who is chanting his name. He feels so thankful and indebted that he provides. Ananyas chintayanto mam. Tesham satata yuktanam. Ananyas chintayanto mam. Yejana payupasate. So one who is meditating about my name and form and who serves me with love and devotion, I give him what he needs, I maintain what he has, Krishna says in Gita. So in that case, Krishna, he gave Draupadi, the Kauravas, they tried to pull off the sari, her cloth, but it didn't end. It became longer and longer and longer. So Krishna, he provided Draupadi with the cloth. Because he was very thankful, he was asking his devotees, chant the names of God. And if we do that, he is thankful for that. He feels indebted. So this is Krishna. Krishna is not only the Almighty, he is a personality who has a relationship to us, to his devotees and to everybody in this world. So he is very, very thankful. It's also called, said in the Nectar of Devotion, that he is a very pleasant speaker. Krishna is a pleasant speaker. Everybody who hears him speak, he is pleased. So you might ask, a pleasant speaker. There are many people who are pleasant speakers. Maybe even the news teller in the television every evening, he knows how to speak very nice. Otherwise, he would not get that job. Isn't it? They're experts in speaking. So there's a nice definition about pleasant speaker in the Nectar of Devotion. A pleasant speaker is somebody a pleasant speaker. He can exchange. What is that English word? I just looked it up in the dictionary, but I forgot it. Liebenswürdig. Wie würdest du das übersetzen? Huh? Loving? There's another word. There's another word for liebenswürdig. Amiable. 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 So, to be a pleasant speaker, somebody is able to be amiable, to speak amiable words even with his greatest enemy. Liebenswürdige Worte wechseln selbst mit dem größten Feind. Wer das kann, der ist ein angenehmer Sprecher. So Krishna, the example is given of Krishna when this was this King Kalia. King Kalia was the king of the snakes, a gigantic snake. And she came to Vrindavan and polluted the Yamuna, the river Yamuna, and polluted the whole area. So the cows came there and they died. The birds were flying over the Yamuna, died. The plants were dying. Even the cowherd boys felt unconsciousness after drinking the water of the Yamuna. So then Krishna, we know the story, Krishna appeared and he had to fight against this gigantic Kaliya king snake. And he hurt Kaliya very, very severely. So she was so, at the end, Kaliya was so exhausted, she was finished and hurt very much, bodily hurt by the feet of the Supreme Lord. So after that long fight, Kaliya was lying down, exhausted. And then Krishna, he spoke to him. He said, please forgive me. I didn't want to hurt you. Please forgive me. God said, please forgive me. Even if he is God, he said, forgive me. It was my duty to protect the inhabitants of Vrindavan. It was my duty to protect the cows, the animals, and the cowherd boys and cowherd girls. It was my duty to protect them, and therefore I had to punish you. But I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And please, you have to leave this place, but you can go to your island in the sea, and by the prints on your heads of my feet, Garuda will know, he will not touch you. So even he protected by that, his greatest enemy, he protected him. So therefore, to do things like that, to speak in an amiable way with your greatest enemy, you have to have one other very deep Eigenschaft, quality. Thank you. This quality, you have to have the quality of taking the position of your opponent, going into his position, empathy, to see the world from his eyes. Yes. So although God is great and almighty and all these things, he is empathic. He can look inside our heart and look from our viewpoint, our feelings. That's Krishna. Krishna is everywhere, in every heart. Yes, as a super soul, he's so small and invisible, but he's the constant companion of us and feels with us. Yeah. So therefore, Krishna, he is very compassionate, mitfühlend. He feels compassion with us and with all living entities in this world. These are his more internal qualities. When Bhishmadev, this great warrior on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when Bhishmadev was on the battlefield, at the end he laid down on the bed of arrows and was about leaving his body. Krishna cried, God cried for his devotee. This is Krishna. This is our Krishna. So he cried when Sudham was a friend of Krishna, and they had the same teacher, Sandipani Muni. And when they grew up, Krishna became a great king in Dwaraka, and the Brahmana Sudham, he was a poor Brahmana who lived in a little hut with no money and was very poor. And one day his wife, he told her husband, please go to Krishna, save us, he can give us a little bit of riches, because we are so poor, we don't even have enough to eat. And then this Brahmana Sudham, he said, but what can I bring to Krishna? We are so poor. Just take that flat rice. Flat rice from India, it's the most simple food you can get, the most cheap food you can get. Flat rice. So he had a little sack with flat rice on his shoulders, and in that way he went to Dwaraka, to the biggest palaces. Yes. But when he came there, Krishna cried, because he was so much thankful to see his old friend from school. So this is Krishna. Krishna loves us. Krishna cries for us. So in that way, our attraction to Krishna, if we know all these things, it can increase, and we can cry for Krishna. Because this cry for Krishna, this is the price we have to pay to get his association again. This is called laulyam. We spoke about utsaha, means enthusiasm, but there's laulyam, and laulyam means great, deepest desire, which is called in German Sehnsucht, longing, yes. Intense longing for Krishna. So this is the price we have to pay. We have to cry for Krishna. Oh Krishna, I want to have your association again. Like the Pope today, I mentioned at the beginning. The Pope today said, this day we call Pfingsten. Yes, the Holy Spirit came over the disciples of Jesus. And the Pope said today at the Peters Dome, we have to get forgiveness for our sins, and then go back to God and sit with him on one table. This is one family. That means one family. So the spiritual family means the spiritual world, means to associate with the Supreme Lord, and in that world even forget that he is the Supreme Lord. There's just a loving relationship to Krishna. Loving relationship to Krishna. So that is what we are looking for. And Krishna, he's so nice that he is so amiable, liebenswürdig. In Nectar of Devotion, the example is given. There was this great king, Yudhishthira Maharaj. He became king after the battle of Kurukshetra. And he performed a great yajna, a great offering, a great sacrificial sacrifice, fire sacrifice. And they came to that place, Yudhishthira on one side and Krishna on the other side. They were standing on the chariots of ihren Streitwagen, standen sie. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, he wanted to jump down off his chariot to pay obeisances to Krishna. But Krishna, he said, he's so amiable, so liebenswürdig, that he was quicker. First, Krishna jumped from his chariot and paid obeisances to Yudhishthira Maharaj, to the king, because he accepted Yudhishthira Maharaj as the king. And in that way, he was so amiable, so liebenswürdig, to do him this favor. I bow down in front of you. So God himself, although he is the most mightiest, the most powerful, he bows down. He is humble. Nectar of Devotion is that Krishna is humble. Krishna is humble and meek. For example, he's looking for firewood, even if it's raining and bad weather, for his spiritual teacher, Sandipani Muni. Krishna was looking for firewood. And yes, and even Krishna, when this Sudam, his friend from his childhood, he visited in Dwaraka, Krishna, he greeted him and washed his feet. He was crying to see him and washed the feet of his devotees. So that's the greatness of Krishna. That's his internal, individual quality. Yes? So if you want to attain his association, we need a little bit of utsaha, enthusiasm, and a lot of laulyam. Laulyam means intense longing, to have his association again. And therefore, we try to follow he's asking us to do things like chanting his name, doing some service for him, yes, offering a leaf, offering a flower, offering some water. Everybody can do. So actually it's not difficult. Just do a little service for Krishna, try to connect with Krishna, try to desire to associate with Krishna again. So at the end of life, we don't have to be born again. We can go back home to Krishna, and have with him a loving, nice exchange. So these were some thoughts about this nice verse in the Bhagavad-gita, Utsahan, verse from Rupa Goswami. So now, afterwards, we can dance and chant a little bit and offer to the Lord, with love and devotion, a ghee lamp to Radha Madan Mohan. These ghee lamps are prepared, and everybody of you who likes, he can offer a ghee lamp to our lordships. So, thank you very much for your association, for your listening. Hare Krishna. Maybe there's a question or a comment. Otherwise, we will make kirtan. Do we have any doubts or any different opinions? Who's first time visitor today? First time in this temple? Oh, a lot of people. You're joking. But where are you from? Amsterdam. Ah, you came from Amsterdam to Golokdam. Yes. Oh, determination, enthusiasm. It's a long trip from Amsterdam. You stay overnight or you go back today? You stay overnight? You have a place to stay? Yes. Okay, nearby. Okay. Nice to know. Okay, so everything clear? Go back to home, back to Krishna? Okay? Okay, so Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai.